Ashtavakra Gita. India, undisputedly the oldest civilization of the world, experienced several highs and lows in its journey till date. However, its strong spiritual base provided tremendous resilience to bounce back and restore its preeminence in all spheres. Its spiritual foundations can be traced back to the Vedic period, which gradually evolved to Vedantic thought and is at the heart of the spiritual revolution impacting lives of millions across several continents. Spiritual leaders, scientists, and other intellectuals worldwide have hailed the immense depth of universal knowledge enshrined in Vedanta philosophy. Vedanta, literally translated, means end of Vedas and beginning of a colossal body of philosophical literature in the form of Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, and Bhagavad Gita. The fundamental thought in all these epics is concept of Advaitavad, non-duality. Majority of people who have some connect with the spiritual space know, read, and follow somewhat the profound message delivered by Krishna to Arjuna in the battlefield of Mahabharata. Bhagavad Gita has a context that everyone can relate to. It deals with issues of day-to-day life, and several of its teachings are relevant for everyone. Bhagavad Gita is rightly described as a way of life. Restoring the supremacy of yoga, Karma Yoga, Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, and many other forms are an integral part of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is also built on the unqualified premise of Advaitavad. Chapter 11 of Gita, wherein Krishna presents his Virat Swarup to Arjuna, who till then had continued to wallow in his grief, unwilling to pick up his bow and arrows, is the absolute moment of oneness of God and transformation of Arjuna as a warrior willing to do his duty. Advaitavad, non-duality, irrevocably establishes the concept of oneness, only one, which has no second. Brahman, the Supreme, alone exists, and everything else is an illusion. The entire universe is like an infinite ocean in which thousands of worlds, like the waves, rise, play, collide, and merge with the ocean. There is another scripture which does not formally figure as a part of Vedanta, but on a standalone basis propounds the reality of Advaitavad that has no parallel in the series of several commentaries on the subject. This book is Ashtavakra Gita, also known as Ashtavakra Samhita. The name of the sage draws from the fact that his physical frame was twisted at 8 different places. The anecdotal version of Ashtavakra relates to the chance encounter of Emperor Janak, father of Sita and father-in-law of Sri Ram, with Ashtavakra, a young boy of 12 years of age. The story states that Ashtavakra went to Janak's court in search of his missing father, named Kahor, who had reportedly come there to seek royal patronage. He lost a spiritual debate against the court philosopher, Bandi, and was excommunicated from Janak's court and sent to serve the father of Bandi. Ashtavakra's entry into the court induced uproarious laughter from the courtiers, including by some intellectuals and pundits who claimed in-depth knowledge of Vedas and Upanishads. Once the din of the laughter subsided, Ashtavakra also laughed in somewhat derisive manner. King Janak, who understood the reason of his courtiers mocking the young lad, whose body was twisted at 8 places, asked Ashtavakra the reason of his laughter. He replied that I had heard that you are an enlightened king, but you seem to have packed your court with a bunch of fools who cannot make a distinction between the body and the soul which is pure consciousness. They laugh at the body which is perishable and transient. How can you call them learned? Pandit Sri Bandi, who had defeated Ashtavakra's father in a spiritual debate, challenged him for a duel. Pandit was no match to the sparkling genius of Ashtavakra. His father was brought back and King Janak requested Ashtavakra to become his guru. Ashtavakra Gita is quintessentially a compilation of a dialogue between Ashtavakra and King Janak. In fact, it is not a dialogue in the classic sense. Both have their own individual space and express their profound thoughts in a manner that seamlessly converge to just one view, Brahman, manifestation of existence, bliss, consciousness. The entire world is described as an illusion and all living entities as his representation. Ashtavakra Gita begins with King Janak asking three questions. These are: how does one gain true knowledge? How does one get liberation? And way to renunciation. Thereupon Ashtavakra begins to expand on these themes and Janak shares his experience and his response to Ashtavakra's words of profound wisdom showed great perspicacity and understanding, reinforcing the veracity of his statements. 18 chapters, 298 verses seem to say the same language, speak the same language, in what appears as a grand monotony of words and thoughts. Each word, each verse is beautifully, wondrously orchestrated symphony, emphasizing oneness of the universe and unity of every entity, animate or inanimate. The entire universe is one big illusion and the only thing that exists is self, the supreme consciousness. The beauty of this epic really lies in its simplicity, its directness. Ashtavakra Gita has no context, no story, no debate, and no ambiguity whatsoever. Each word is luminous, transparent, and keeps appearing with steady regularity till it gets firmly embedded in the consciousness of the reader. No wonder many great sages have hailed Ashtavakra Gita as the purest of all scriptures.